So in this video, I'm going to give you a demo of WinsurTech AL3 Creator REST API. You can create AL3 files using CSV templates. And we have these API calls here: generate CSV template, create AL3 files. These two are mainly used. And we have code list values, code list names. They will be in use, as you will see shortly. Now, generate CSV template. We support all of the major lines of business in P&C insurance for USA, on personal side and commercial side. And we will give you a list of all the supported LOBs when you will like to use it. And now here, to create the template, you have to fill the line of business like auto P and transaction count. You don't need to fill any other field, as you know that one AL3 file can have multiple transactions as well, and they all can be for the same line of business or different line of business. So we have the support for zip files to which can contain multiple uh, CSV files, one for each line of business. And within one file, you can also put multiple transactions, data of multiple transactions for the same line of business, not for different. So about these advanced level details, we can guide you once you will start using the API. We have business analysts, data specialists who can help you with the AL3 data mapping and AL3 elements. Uh, but to keep it simple, all you have to do is auto P send. You get the template for the line of business, and you have to save it, and you will get this postman collection so that you can test. Save to a file, and we have to save it as a CSV file. So let me say auto p CSV. Let me open that file. So this is the template. As you know that in one AL3 file, under one transaction for the policy, there can be all the data of the policy, like basic insured information, policy information, and location information, vehicles, drivers, coverages, deductibles, limits, additional interest, prior policy, another policy from the same carrier, all of these information. So number of elements is very large, but we have created simplified templates with most important elements. So instead of like 1000 elements, we have like 243 elements here in this template. And even in these elements, you have to fill only what you have, the data that you have. You don't need to worry about all of the other elements. I will fill some elements here for you, and then I will show you a template which already has the data filled. So you will see how to create the file. And let me explain this to you, like transaction category. Now, what will be the value of transaction category? You have to, it gives you in curly braces the code, because some of the values are ACORD coded, which means that one code can have multiple values. So you have to get the code from here. You have to go back to the API, use this codeless values API, fill the code, and you will get all the possible values for that code. Now this is a transaction related to the policy. So you fill P here for policy. And so you go back, fill P here. This data is already filled because of the line of business that you selected. Transaction function. Again, you can copy this code and fill the code here that is applicable for you. FMG, for example, which means full image, full master image, and CB purpose, cycle business purpose. This is like MBS for new business, PCH for policy change. You can get all the values using the same API by filling this code here, CBUR, for example. Get all the codes here. Uh, Now moving forward, transaction date, transaction effective date, MMGD, whatever. So just it's simple. You have to fill the date here that is relevant in your case. Now name type can be generic, family, personal. There are different values according to NM type variable. So you can again use the API for getting the code values. But let me fill personal here because it's a name, a personal name policy mostly in case of personal auto. Uh, but based on your scenario, you have to fill the corresponding value. Name type, personal for personal name, family for family name, commercial for commercial name. So I filled personal here. Insured name, this is a name prefix like Mr. First name, James, middle name. I mean, if you don't have a middle name, just leave it blank. Last name, uh, now name suffix like PhD, for example. Similarly, now you can leave these blank. These are related to the combined name, company name, generic name, etc. Company ID for insured, if you have a company ID for insured. On the carrier side, anything, and company ID for, and on the agency side, street address. As I said earlier, whatever values you have, fill those, leave others blank. So in this way, you can fill this file. This file has all the different groups. For like this is for the insured information. This is for the supplemental insured information. Don't change these values, these columns. Leave them aside as it is. Just focus on the value column. And this column gives you the data type and the width as well to guide you how much value should be filled, what type of value should be filled. Insured information, basic policy information, uh, policy number, carrier code, NAIC code, line of business code, line of business subcode, driver information, and driver supplementary information, other insurance with the same company, payment plan, and prior policy history, group location information. Now this is vehicle information here, and additional interest information. And one important thing I want to tell you here is that, let me show you this thing here. And this is coverage information for the vehicle. Now you know that coverages, there can be many types of coverages in every line of business, like bodily injury liability, property damage liability, or underinsured motorist. So, but in this template, coverage code, so it starts from here, coverage adjustment group, and this goes till here. We provide in the template, we provide only one set of rows, so you have to copy them. You have to insert copied cells. So now you have two sets. You fill the one set here, and I mean data for the one policy coverage here, one type of coverage, and the other type of coverage here. So you can copy it as many times as you need inside this template. And same for the drivers, if you have multiple drivers or any other groups that you want to repeat, that can repeat. And keep them below each other. Don't put them somewhere else in the file. In this way, you can fill the file. Let me show you a file which has more data that I had already filled. This file. I had filled most of the data here. Area code, policy number, line of business code, policy producer subcode, net change amount, current amount, billing method code P, which is on the policy level and not account level, and policy effective date, expiration date, state producer number, issuance date, and all the driver. This is driver information actually. Personal type of name, David, and last name, phone number, social security number, license state. So this file has a lot of data. Important data field, payment plan code. AN means annual, by check. Payment will be by check. And using our code values API, you can use the code, you will get all the possible values. Location, address, and vehicle information, model, make, and vehicle body type. Again, it's a coded value. So in this way, you can fill the data. And I have coverages here with bodily injury liability. I had copied this set of data twice. This is where property damage coverage starts, and the upper set is for bodily injury liability. And transaction effective date, expiration date. These are the amounts, limit amounts. For the first limit is for on the basis of per person, and the second is on the basis per accident. And in this case, there is only accident limit 1. There is no limit 2. So it's up to you according to data you have. And this file, once it is created, all you have to do is you go to the second API, create AL3 file, and upload that file. Click send, and you get the AL3 file as a part of the JSON key output. Your programmer can easily programmatically retrieve all the contents from here, save into a file with extension .al3 or .dat. For now, to show you the contents, I will just copy this entire thing, open Notepad, paste here, go to the top, remove all these JSON keys up to this point. Similarly, from the bottom, the JSON closing bracket and this double quotes, and save it in the .al3 extension and close it. And you can use a WinsurTech AL3 viewer to open the file. And you will see that the data is there in the AL3 file. This is the basic insured information, company ID, agency ID, and basic policy information will be here. 5 BPI, policy number, company code, line of business code, producer subcode, and driver information here, and location, address, all of that. And vehicle was there. You can have multiple vehicles also in the template. And coverages, there were 2 coverages: bodily injury liability and uh, property damage liability. So in this way, it's easy to create the AL3 files. If you want to go in more depth, you can also get the full template uh, that we have here, like full is equal to yes. Header groups, like we have MHG. It does not repeat if there are multiple transactions. Similarly, this does not repeat if there are multiple transactions. So we have uh, kept it separate. You can also type header underscore groups here and get the template for the header groups only. So these details we can provide to you once you contact us and want to start using the API. So write to us today if you want to use AL3 Creator REST API to create the AL3 files. Thank you very much.